Force.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another Wakai comedy production. And today we're actually going to be bringing you guys something pretty close to my heart, something that actually gets me pretty excited. And I've been waiting a while to do this with you guys because I haven't actually, it took me a while to decide how I wanted to bring forth this content, but I thought Battlefront's getting ready to come out. You know, we got a new Star Wars movie getting ready to come out. Why not just use Battlefront? And speaking of Battlefront, I was actually talking about Battlefront 2 is getting ready to come out. But why not use Battlefront 1, you know, as a base and just speak to you guys while, you know, I get some filthy gameplay going. So today I'm bringing you guys some Battlefront gameplay with some commentary, and the topic today is actually just going to be about Star Wars, The Last Jedi, the new movie that's getting ready to come out here in December. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to say to you guys is I'm about as huge as a Star Wars fan as I am a Dragon Ball fan, and that's saying a lot, because Dragon Ball is my favorite thing to ever appear on TV. It is Dragon Ball, and I'm talking about like the entire series: Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. And even though GT is that hot garbage, it still has a little place in my heart because it carries the Dragon Ball name and it carries the characters that I love so much. But going back to Star Wars, I have the same respect and love for that franchise as well. Star Wars is up there to me with Dragon Ball, Lord of the Rings. It gets no higher. You know, the Godfather is the only tier that's higher than those movies, and Dragon Ball in particular. That's the only thing that I like more than all of those put together. So it looks like we're playing the Empire actually, but no. So needless to say, The Last Jedi has me pretty excited. Just about as excited as when we first got the announcement for The Force Awakens. Now that was an entirely different monster. No, you didn't. Now that was an entirely different monster though, because we hadn't heard anything about Star Wars it had been so long since Episode 3 had you know, finally, you know, aired or debuted, and we had seen it so many times, and to have the news of another Star Wars coming was just probably the biggest hype of our era. I mean, to be completely honest, I don't know anything that might have got us more excited than that. So this other one has me just as excited. It just doesn't have that factor. It just doesn't have that, you know, because we knew essentially that it was coming. But needless to say, I mean, I can't wait. Like, December can't come fast enough. And what really has me the most excited, I think, about this movie is just to see the character growth. I just really can't wait to see how these characters evolve. And I'm getting shot down, man. I really can't wait to see it, particularly Kylo Ren. He's my favorite character from the last movie, and I have a particular bias towards the dark side characters. Darth Vader is my favorite character actually, in like all of I don't know how she didn't die. That irritates me so bad. Darth Vader is my favorite character in all of like fiction. Like, he's my ultimate favorite character. And Kylo Ren, to me, he's just as cool, but I mean, like I said, I'm biased to the dark side, man. I dig the black robes, the red lightsabers. I really can't kill anybody, dude. This is crazy. I'm gonna come back for you guys. This is insane, though. This game gets me sometimes, like, it really does. But I'm just extremely eager to see, you know, his change and what he changes into. We saw a little bit recently from the Entertainment Weekly magazine, a little picture that showed us that, like, he has the scar on his face, which don't get me wrong, man, that looks sick. I love the scar, man. And he seems to have another cross-guard lightsaber that still even has like the pulsating, like, you know, the kind of broken blade that he had on his first one. I thought he would at least get that fixed and then have like a perfect blade with the cross-guard design, but it seems as though he's sticking with like the same design that he's always went with. So it looks like we're gonna see him come back and rock the same kind of apparel, same type of, like, what would you call it, like a tunic or whatever he was wearing, besides the addition of a new cape. And we knew, like, if you stay up to date with Star Wars news, you knew he was gonna be rocking a new cape. It's a new Sith artifact cape. We kind of knew this same dude keeps killing me over and over again. It's driving me insane. We knew that he was gonna pretty much be rocking a new cape. I was kind of hoping to see a new lightsaber, to be completely honest. It's not like I don't really like the cross-guard design, because I think it's unique, and I like unique lightsabers, especially ones we haven't seen at all. Like, the cross-guard lightsaber is pretty cool. the double-bladed lightsaber when it debuted was probably the coolest thing out. You know what I mean? Like, that toy sold so crazy. I had one. I had Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber too, just because I actually really like green lightsabers. Those are the only green light side lightsabers that I really like, are the green ones. But I had one of Qui-Gon Jinn lightsabers, but my favorite one was by far Darth Maul's. Same thing with Darth Vader. I think Darth Vader's is just a cooler version of Anakin's, you know, because it's red and has the black accents on it. But you know, I was hoping to see a new lightsaber at least for my boy Kylo. But I mean, if he wants to stick with the cross guard, that's cool. Besides from Kylo, we got to see General Hux. He doesn't really look too much different, which, you know, I don't really care too much for General Hux. Like, he's not a bad character or anything like that. He's just not the most exciting character. So we got to see that he doesn't change too much. Phasma, though, we got to see what she looks like without her helmet on, which I can say that's actually pretty exciting to see that she's probably gonna play a bigger role coming up here in the movie. I was disappointed in The Force Awakens by the way that they handled Phasma, because she was built up to be this Boba Fett, you know what I mean? Like, even though if you really look back at it, Boba Fett was actually handled kind of poorly himself. I mean, his cool factor wasn't necessarily handled poorly. It's just that his execution, I mean, he was essentially knocked off by a blonde Han Solo, you know what I mean? Like, just destroyed by him. He was supposed to be the coolest dude in the series. So we didn't really get to see him utilized to his full potential, and I was scared we were going to have the same thing happen with Phasma. At least she didn't die in the first one, but, you know, it was just kind of embarrassing. Especially when you have the hype going for her. Like, I'm trying to... How? I knew that was going to happen. That makes me angry. But yeah, essentially, Phasma, I like the fact that she, like, shows her face, you know, and we get to be a little bit more intimate and personal with her, knowing what her face looks like. She's not just like a super stormtrooper now. She's like an actual person, you know. She's up in the pantheon of bad guys. So we get to see that. One thing we didn't get to see, though, which I was actually interested in, I wanted to see Snoke, if we were going to actually get to see. But I mean, of course, he's probably a big deal. They probably want to hold him down to the point where we don't actually get to see him for real. So we'll probably get to see Snoke, of course, in the movie, but I don't think we'll really get to see him too much. You know, outside of that in any like promotions or anything like that. But if we get another trailer, man, you never know. But yeah, so that's pretty much the dark side cast, and you know, I'm really, they have me the most excited for the movie. The light side Rey, she doesn't look like she's changed too much in particular. I mean, we know she's going to be wielding a lightsaber now, which is always going to be pretty awesome if you ask me. So we know she's going to be using a lightsaber, but aside from that, she just looks like she's going to be training under Luke. Now, Luke is probably he has me the second most excited than anything else, because Luke Skywalker's legend, man. like he's a freaking legend. Who doesn't want to see him? And the stuff that he's talking in the trailer, you know, the Jedi must end. That dude had a good spot. He was set up in a nice position. You know, the Jedi must end and all this crazy stuff, man. Like, it's just interesting to know, like, what happened to Luke Skywalker between the Return of the Jedi and, you know, and The Force Awakens. What happened to him to make him exile himself, you know, and call for the end of the Jedi? You know, what is he going to teach Rey? What is the new Jedi going to be? I mean, why is it the last Jedi? You know, we're going to be learning a lot of stuff, and that's all really going to come through Luke Skywalker, which is why the only person I'm more excited to see than Luke Skywalker is Kylo Ren, just because, like, he's my favorite character of the new generation of characters. But other than that, Luke Skywalker, man, I gotta understand what's going on with him. So the movie seems to be going on a darker path, akin to Empire. And if it's anything like Empire, then you've already had me sold, because Empire is my favorite Star Wars movie by far. Like, to me, there is no contest. Empire is my favorite, and then the distant second is, I want to say, Revenge of the Sith, just because Revenge of the Sith is just a beautiful movie to look at. It's not the best, you know, it's not the best Star Wars when it comes to story or anything like that, but I mean, the battle at the end between Obi-Wan and Anakin justifies its position there, if you ask me. Like, it's just too good. You can't really ignore that type of choreography. And the story of Darth Vader's descent, what a clever bastard. The story of Darth Vader's descent always makes for you know, interesting storytelling. Even if it wasn't executed properly, I mean, it's still a good story to see how Anakin, you know, finally made his last transition into Darth Vader. But yeah, so when it comes to when it comes to The Last Jedi, though, I'm big time excited. I mean, it's a lot of things that have me excited. We haven't learned a lot. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know too much about Finn, which Finn is one of my favorite characters, man. He's really awesome, and I want to see what his story turns into, because initially when I first saw Finn, I thought he was gonna be the main character. You know, they showed him with Luke's lightsaber before they ever showed you know, Rey with it. So we initially, I mean, I thought that, you know, Finn was the main character. So to see him get sliced in his back and, you know, recover and everything, because we know he's gonna recover. He's not dead or anything like that. So we get to see what happens, and I'm eager about that. Him and Poe Dameron should make for a good crew, and they got that other chick with him. I don't remember what her name is, but they have another chick with him who supposedly, you know, she's supposed to be funny, and she's gonna be with them too. So that trio should be awesome to watch out for. We got that, and you know, we got Chewbacca. Chewbacca's interesting, right? Hopefully he'll rip somebody's arms off. I've always wanted to see that portrayed. If this is gonna be a dark Star Wars, let him rip somebody's arms off, because Han's dead and somebody has to pay. That shot to Kylo Ren's side wasn't enough. Somebody has to lose limbs. And if we know anything about Star Wars, especially about the second in the trilogy, somebody loses limbs. Somebody loses a limb. Let's let Chewbacca get it one time. Let's let him rip somebody's limbs off. I think that'd be pretty interesting, to say the least. I hope somebody hits this corner, because now I'm in. Oh, come here, boy. Yeah, boy. But yeah, oh, dude, what's wrong with you? You cocksucker. Excuse my language, ladies and gentlemen. This is supposed to be a friendly video, a family-friendly video at least. But that dude made me angry. This game can get you. Okay, we're about to. But yeah, as for The Last Jedi, comes out in December, you know, so we got a lot of time to sit and wait and to speculate about what's gonna go on. That's what, you know, Star Wars fans like to do. We like to take the information that we get and just speculate what's gonna happen. And my predictions for The Last Jedi is, it's really hard to call. It's really hard to call. Because, I mean, so many things can happen. We can have Luke Skywalker's death, which is not something that I want, but I can definitely see it happening. I mean, especially if we want to go darker, I can see Luke Skywalker's death definitely being a thing. We can see somebody losing a limb, because, like I said, that's happened in every second episode of the trilogies that's come out. You know, the prequel trilogy and the sequel trilogy, somebody's lost a limb in the second part. So we'll see that, who's going to lose a limb, you know. The return of Kylo Ren, and he supposedly and we should see the Knights of Ren too, which if the Knights of Ren are as cool as I think they're going to be, then that's going to be a high point for the movie as well. So we should get to see the Knights of Ren, some more Snoke action, you know. So I'm just predicting that we're going to see a battle between Luke and Kylo. That's what I'm hoping, a battle between Luke and Kylo. Maybe Rey is going to be involved somehow, but I don't want it to be another battle between Rey and Kylo. I want it to be between Luke and Kylo. And I don't know if Kylo can win that fight, but with Luke's whole new philosophy and everything, we'll just have to see where the story goes. It's not enough information exactly to predict what's going to happen with Finn, you know, and everything like that, and Poe Dameron. I don't really know too much about what's going to happen with them, but at least we know that Kylo Ren, Rey, and Luke have to meet up and have a conversation at some point, and hopefully the Knights of Ren are involved, and Snoke as well. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, is that confrontation. And Rey's training, if it's anything similar to Luke's with Yoda, that should be pretty interesting as well. So, you know, those type of things are essentially what I'm looking out for the most. Ooh, we got the space. I like the space battles a lot. I'm glad they actually brought them back with the Death Star update. I actually don't know if they brought them back before. I'm a big fan of the Death Star playlist, so I pretty much play that almost exclusively, besides the heroes and villains playlist. And by the way, if you guys are any fans of like the old school Battlefront games, this game doesn't necessarily compare to Battlefront 2 as in how good it was, but it's there. I mean, it's something that you can play as a substitute until the new Battlefront 2 comes out, which should be Game of the Year if you ask me. If they do it how it's supposed to be, that game should be Game of the Year. It's my most anticipated for sure. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Just as much as I can't wait to actually see The Last Jedi, just because I'm a fan of the darker atmosphere movies, especially when it comes to Star Wars. Those are all, except for Attack of the Clones wasn't necessarily the darker one for that one, but it was the second iteration. The darker one, in my opinion, being come here, boy. I want him dead. The darker one definitely being Revenge of the Sith was the darkest of the prequel trilogies, but darn it, I lost him. Needless to say, you know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to talk and commentate and fly a TIE interceptor at the same time is not as easy as you would think it is. But I will not fail. No. We gotta get out of there. It's dangerous around here. Woo. He won't get off me. I can't lose him. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was trying to concentrate for a minute as I am doing a live gameplay, so sometimes it can get a little crazy. But I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this video up, ladies and gentlemen. The Force Awakens, really good movie in my opinion. It kind of polarized some people about how similar it was to it was very similar to, you know, A New Hope. So hopefully we can get a different outcome with The Last Jedi, with not departing too much from the formula the Empire built, you know, but making it its own thing. Hopefully we can get some of that, which that'll have me pretty excited. But regardless of what they give, I don't see Star Wars, especially in the hands of Disney. Disney's been showing that they can actually handle they can handle it pretty well. They've taken this thing that we love, you know, called Star Wars, and they've done good things with it. Rebels is good, you know. I like Rebels. The books that they've been releasing, you know, all of them are pretty, they've been hitting the marks. So I have no doubt that Disney should do well with this movie, especially with all the hype and everything that's behind it. I just can't wait to see it. So that was my thoughts, you know, kind of my ramblings. It's just a little bit of my rant. You can call it whatever you want to, just some discussion on The Last Jedi. I just wanted to get some information out there and get you guys some gameplay for this Battlefront footage. I'm gonna have definitely more videos for Star Wars coming soon. You know, I'm gonna start a new type of video of more lasting videos that are gonna be more structured. It's not just gonna be kind of like this free, you know, gameplay, go as you want. Like, I'm still gonna make videos like this, but essentially I'm gonna try to make videos that are different. You know, I wanna expand my my portfolio, if that makes any sense. So that's gonna be my mission, is to bring you guys different types of content. I don't know how he didn't die. That's crazy. But with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna finish out this gameplay. I'm gonna finish out this last mission, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys later. Follow me on Twitter at YoungKami93 and follow us on Facebook at Wakai Kami Productions. Like and subscribe, and thank you so much. Have an awesome day. You guys are the coolest. See ya.
Cut those fighters off. Do not let them clear the way to the destroyer. Omega 13 reporting in. Our capital ship has lost its shields. Stop those rebel fighters before it is too late. A rebel assault team has infiltrated this battle station and are heading to the detention level in an attempt to retrieve an astromech. That droid contains vital information. Do not let them leave alive. droids. They are heading to the hangar for extraction.
Luke Skywalker has been spotted. To assist you.
Has been spotted in your zone. Terminate him.
Block the assault team from making any more progress. They are attempting to steal a droid we have on lockdown.
Skywalker has been